All right, let's do some examples and then you can work on homework 1, parabolas part 1 for homework. Okay, so let's take a look at number 1 here. We see that x is squared and y isn't. That tells us it is a parabola. And it also tells us whether this opens up, down, left, or right. X is squared, so it either opens up or down. P is negative, so I know it opens down. So I'm just going to sketch something real quick there as a reminder. I'm going to go to the vertex. The vertex is HK, so that's -1, 4, right? X minus h, so h is -1. So -1, 4, let's find that. -1, 4 is right there. There's -1, 4. I'll put a V for a vertex there. And then we have to figure out what P is. Well, 4P is -8. So 4P equals -8. I'm going to divide a 4 on both sides. I'm going to get that P is -2. Okay? Well, the absolute value of P then is 2. That's the distance between the focus and the directrix. It's also the distance between, it's the vertex and the directrix and the vertex and the focus. That's what that absolute value of P is. All right, so let's go 2 units. Now, remember that the vertex is right here, and then we're going to go up to find the directrix, because the parabola always opens away from the directrix, and we're going to go down to find the focus, and we go down 2 units. So we go down 2 units, there's the focus, and we go up 2 units, and here is the line that we call the directrix. Okay? All right, so the focus is this point right here, -1, 2. The directrix, it's crossing the y-axis. Remember, the directrix needs an equation. It's not a point, it's a line. So y equals 6. Okay, there we go. Now, the only other thing we have to do is we have to graph this. We know the vertex is on our graph. Then we're going to find 2 other points. I call them the easy points. Now, they're only easy if you remember how this works. Here we go. Remember, the definition of a parabola is the set of all points equidistant from the focus and the directrix. Well, I know that between the focus and the directrix here is 4. It's 2 times P, right? So there's 4 units. So I'm going to go 4 units this way. 1, 2, 3, 4. Boom. By definition, this point right here, 3, 2, that has to be on my parabola. 1, 2, 3, 4. By definition, that has to be on my parabola. I know that because it's 4 units. That blue point right there is 4 units from my focus. It's also 4 units from my directrix, so it's got to be on my parabola. The rest I'm going to eyeball a little bit here and just kind of, I did not do well on that one, but here we go. Close enough. All right, here we go. And so we've got to make sure that we see that. How about this point, this point, this point? Make sure those points are on there, and make sure we got the general shape of a parabola there. Let's take a look at number 2. How about, let's go y squared equals -8x. Okay, we see the vertex is going to be 0, 0 here, 0, 0, hk. Okay, x minus 0. Over here, we got y minus 0. So 0, 0, there's our vertex. Now, y is squared, and p is negative. When y is squared, it's either going to open up left or right, but p is negative, so it opens to the left. If p was positive and y was squared, it would open to the right. Okay, so our vertex is going to be right here. There's going to be our focus, and our directrix is there. The parabola always opens away from the directrix. Okay, so again, 4p is -8. Just like it was in the last problem, 4p equals -8 dividing by 4, of course. I see that p is -2, so the absolute value of p is 2. Okay? All right, so the focus, remember I'm going to the left 2 spaces to find the focus, so that is -2, 0. That's a 0. And then we got the directrix. I go 2 this way, but don't put that as a point, or make sure it's a line. It's a vertical line. It goes through the x-axis, so I know it's the directrix. The equation is going to be x equals something, and here it's x equals 2. So now we need to graph it. I know the vertex is going to be on our parabola. It's got to be. And then remember the definition. Okay, there's 4 units between the focus and the directrix, so I'll go 4 this way and 4 this way. I know these points have to be on our parabola, because this one it's 4 units from the directrix, but it's also 4 units from the focus, so it's got to be there. Okay, and I'm just kind of eyeball it, and okay, I got kind of close. That point, and that point. All right. Let's do number 3. All right, in number 3, I have y is squared, and so I know the parabola either opens left or right. If x was squared, it would either open up or down. So y is squared, p is positive, boom. It's going to open to the right. Okay, so the vertex is 2, 2. Okay, h, okay. So 2, 2, let's find that, boom. Okay, put a little v for vertex. Focus, remember, because it opens to the right, I'm going to go to the right to find the focus, and left to find the line that we call the directrix. So then we know which direction to go because it's opening to the left, okay? To the right, I mean. All right, here we go. So I go to the right and find the focus. I'm not going 2 units, I'm going 1 unit. Here's how I know I'm going 1 unit, because 4p equals 4, I know that p equals 1. Okay, so I go 1 unit to the right to find the focus, and I go 1 unit to the left to find the line that we call the directrix. So the focus is 3, 2, and the directrix is x equals 1. It's that vertical line going through the x-axis at x equals 1. Okay, and then we will graph this guy. So here we go. So I know vertex is on there, and now the focus and the directrix, they are 2 units apart. So I go 2 units that way, 2 units that way. So these 2 purple points here, they're 2 units from the focus, 2 units from the directrix. So those have to be on my parabola. So something like that. Okay. All right. Number 4. Let's see. Number 4, let's do this. Let's go x squared equals 4y. X is squared and p is positive. So this one's going to open up. And the vertex is 0, 0. Okay, HK. There's the vertex. I'm going to go up p units, absolute value of p, to find the focus, because the focus is going to be on the inside of the parabola. I'm going to go down p units, or the absolute value of p units, to find the horizontal line that is our directrix, because the parabola always opens away from the directrix. Okay, so here we go. I see that 4p is 4. Just like in the previous problem, I'll divide by 4 on both sides to get p equals 1. So, of course, the absolute value of p equals 1, that's the distance I'm going. Because this thing opens up, I go up 1 to find the focus, and down 1 to find this line that we call the directrix. Okay? All right, so the focus is 0, 1. Be careful that you don't call that 1, 0. And then the directrix is y equals -1. Be careful that you don't call that x equals -1. It's y equals -1 because it crosses the y-axis at -1. And now we need to graph it. I know the vertex is on there, and I see I have 2 units between the focus and the directrix. So I go 2 this way, 2 this way. By definition, these 2 points have to be on my parabola. And maybe something like that. Okay, all right. So now your homework is Parabolas Part 1. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me. Have a great day. I'll see you later. Hang in there.